Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to step onto the ice for some biscuits and penalties. I'm Cobra, and I am joined by Alex. Say hello, man.
Hello.
All right. So, uh, well, this has been a definite weird week for us in the social sports pad, but it's also been a very interesting week in the NHL. Um, I'm gonna say it openly that the the trade deadline has definitely bore fruit for certain teams, and definitely has been a backlash for others. So there is that. However, I will say the sellers at the deadline probably made out like bandits on certain aspects. Now let's see them cash in those picks. Alex, anything you want to add on that?
I definitely agree with you. There are a lot of teams that were definitely sellers in the deadline. I think the biggest one was probably the Bruins. Obviously, trading the big lifer away in Max and Brand Marchand to the Florida Panthers,
Yeah.
basically gutting the lifetimer and potential Hall of Famer on the team to go to a in-division conference rival that could bite them later on, maybe next year. And not in the playoffs this year because they're not good enough for that yet. But we'll see where it goes with the
Yeah.
Bruins next year.
I will say though, for Brad Marchand, he is, I believe that his trade was probably a necessary one considering that Aaron Ekblad just got popped for a 20-game suspension for PEDs. So that might, that probably saved the Florida Panthers season, or at least their Stanley Cup repeating chances. So that's probably where that'll lead to. Hopefully the Rat can lead the Florida Panthers to victory. So we'll see what happens. And interesting enough, it's very interesting over in Washington, other than what's going on in DC. And I do mean the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Let's not let the less we talk about Pumpkin Spice Palpatine, the better. We do not need to talk about Save-A-Lot Stalin or his or apartheid Apu, known as Elon Musk. Let's not talk about them. We're talking hockey. We are talking about the Great Eight's quest to top the Great One. Alex, you obviously, as our resident Caps fan, you definitely have been watching this.
Yes, if you guys haven't been keeping track of the NHL world of Alexander Ovechkin, the captain of the Capitals, looking to retire after this season, is 8 goals away. The Great Eight is 8 away from passing Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goal record of 895 goals. Gretzky ended his career with 894. With just weeks to go within the season, we are closely watching and monitoring that to see if he can get to the record before he retires, and hopefully see if the Caps can send off in the sunset with a second ring that he was with the team in 2018 when we won all those years ago. So definitely a big one to look out for and a big spotlight on Ovechkin. Gretzky has said on TV that he is rooting for Ovechkin to pass him, which is not what we see a lot in football or any sport, that a player wants a certain player to pass them, but definitely serves purpose and how great Ovechkin is and how fast he's going to pass it, because it's reportedly he's going to pass him faster than Gretzky was to put in all his 894 goals.
And also considering the fact that Gretzky played in probably the, I would say the softest era as far as goaltending is concerned, because that was probably, the goaltending position was the least skilled. A goalie didn't even pass 900 save percentage. in the 80s. It was rare for a goalie to hit 900. It was even rarer for a goalie to go above 910. We didn't get one of those and I mean with regular starting gigs. All right, I'm not talking about a backup. With regular starts, we didn't see that till Dominik Hasek did it in 1994 with a 920. All right, so it's a different era of hockey that Ovechkin has played in, as far as the skill set of goaltending, as far as the ability of the players in general. The players hit harder. The game is definitely faster with lightweight materials and all that, of the sticks, the helmets, and the gear. And as a person who has worn goalie gear, I can tell you that it may be heavy, and it is, but it is probably not as heavy as the stuff that was from the 80s, especially the goalie pads. So it's very interesting. I will say, the fact that Wayne Gretzky is rooting for Ovechkin to pass him, I will definitely say Wayne Gretzky, he may have held those records for for a long period of time, but it's also like he knows the importance of someone passing him in the record books. In the NHL, you're known for two things: for breaking a record, or you're known for winning cups, and you're known for breaking records and staying in the record books. A record is meant to be broken after. And Wayne Gretzky, who always thought that his records would stand the test of time, now witnessing a person that has the potential and the ability to pass, him in the record books, that tells you a lot. That tells you the era that Gretzky lived in. It also tells you what he roots for, because, records aren't meant to stay forever. They're not. They are made to be broken. That is why they're records. And again, as you said, Gretzky is excited, as any fan would be, to see his records broken. And yeah, I'm not surprised Gretzky is rooting for Ovechkin. I'm not surprised that Gretzky is as excited as you are, Alex. So yeah, I'm rooting for Ovechkin too, because I may not be a Capitals fan, but I've always loved Alexander Ovechkin. I thought he was a breath of fresh air since the lockout happened in 2005, 2006, or 2004, 2005. He was definitely a breath of fresh air in a league that needed a huge breath of life. And so, yeah, to see Alexander Ovechkin get this opportunity to get close is exciting. And before we get to the standings, there's one more person who also etched his name into a record column, and that is Florida Panthers goalie Sergei BOBROVSKY. Sergei BOBROVSKY yesterday started climbing his way into the top 10 of goalies in the win column, if that makes sense. He surpassed Tony Esposito as the 10th all-time goaltender in wins. Not bad for someone who is undrafted. That's all I got to say. Alex, is there anything you want to add to either one of those comments?
As a Capitals fan, watching the Florida Panthers, being in a feud with the Panthers, is obviously, as an Eastern Conference fan, I hate 95% of the teams in it, and the Panthers are one of them. I'm super proud of Sergei BOBROVSKY. He is a great goalie for them, has led them to greatness, and I cannot wait to see what else he does for the future with the Panthers. and see if they can defend the Stanley Cup, because this is a feat that we haven't seen done in a long time. Obviously, the Lightning won back-to-back. The Penguins won back-to-back. But I think the Panthers haven't won back-to-back in a long time, and they are in full speed of winning their little conference in the Eastern Division, because the divisions are broken up into two different areas of the
Yeah.
country. So we'll see what happens with Bobrovsky, and I hope he's going to be in the Hall of Fame for the Panthers, and potentially maybe an NHL Hall of Famer, depending on how many rings he can get on his hand.
Well, he definitely has hardware to etch his case into the Hall of Fame. He has a Vezina Trophy with the Columbus Blue Jackets. He has a Stanley Cup. He has the wins. He has the save percentage. It's not like if they sent him to the Hall of Fame, he would be like, why? No, he has the resume to get him there. And it was a joke by Jay Onrait that he was the number one cop on the force when he was with the Philadelphia Flyers. Like, they made fun of his name, that it was Bobrovsky. But I watched him with the Flyers. And it looked like he needed a change of pace. And when he was traded to Columbus, I thought that Columbus was going to waste him, because they were kind of wasting Steve Mason at the time, and he had won the Calder. So, and Columbus is pretty much where all players go to kind of die in a way. But Bobrovsky was a breath of fresh air to that franchise. And then when he signed that big free agent contract, which was, a little bit bloated when he first signed it, now it's like, oh, he turned that into worth every penny. He's got, he definitely has a Hall of Fame career. He probably doesn't have that long left as far as NHL career is concerned, considering he's 36. But I don't think it's a question he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Definitely not a question. I will also say this about Sergei Bobrovsky. Have you seen his pregame workout?
I believe so.
It is insane. Like, why would you do that style of jump rope? Like, he does the full boxer type jumping rope pregame workout. Like, wow, okay. But yeah, that's enough about Sergei Bobrovsky, Alexander Ovechkin, and and what was going on in the NHL news. Let's get to the standings. And before we get to the standings, want to remind everyone that April 17th is the last game. Is when this regular season ends for the NHL. So we are getting closer to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we're starting to see some cutoffs. And Alex, why don't you start with the Metropolitan? If you have it in front of you, I'll give you a minute if you can.
Let me pull it up here real fast.
Give him time, guys.
As always, leading the Metropolitan has been, for seems like most of the season, the Washington Capitals. 44 wins, 15 losses, and 8 overtime losses with 96 points. The Carolina Hurricanes have been on their tail all season.
Raleigh.
At 40, 22, and 4, 84 points. New Jersey Devils, 36, 26, and 6, 78 points. The Columbus Blue Jackets, 31, 26, and 8, 70 points. The New York Rangers, 32,
Wow.
28, and 6, 70 points. The New York Islanders, 29, 28 and 8, 66 points. Pittsburgh Penguins 28.
Alex? Check, Alex. We lost you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we lost you for a minute.
sorry about that. Where did I get cut off?
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh
Again? Yinzer! Where's the Yinzer when you need him? Yinzer!
Just no to me, apparently. Penguins
Apparently, we
28.
lost you again.
Penguins 28, 31, and 10, 66 points. And the Flyers 28, 31, and 6, and 8 with 64 points.
I heard my name. Why were you cut? We don't need you anymore, Yinzer. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that, Alex. He came a little too late. But you called me, Cobra. Why'd you need me? Because Alex was down and we thought we needed your Pittsburgh knowledge. But Steelers are gone to Super Bowl. No, they're not. Anywho. Now for the Atlantic. At the top is the Florida Panthers, led by Sergei BOBROVSKY. Hey, we were just talking about them. 41, 22, and 3, 85 points. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be eliminated in the second round before the second round. Did I just say that? 39, 23, and 3, 81 points. The Tampa Bay Lightning, 37, 23, and 5, 79 points. The Ottawa Senators, 35, 25, and 5, 75 points. The Montreal Canadiens, 31, 27, and 7, 69. Nice points. The Detroit Red Wings, 31, 29, and 6, 68 points. The Boston Bruins, 30, 29, and 8, 68 points. And the Buffalo Sabres, 26, 33, and 6, 58 points. They can take solace, at least they're not as bad as the Sharks. All right, and speaking of, Alex, can you take the Pacific?
I can. So leading it is the Vegas Golden Knights at 38, 19, and 8, 86 points. I can't read.
That would be, 39, 19, and 8, 86 points. Correction.
Thank you. The Edmonton Oilers, 38, 24, and 4, 80 points. The Los Angeles Kings, 35, 20, and 9, 79 points. The Calgary Flames, 30, 24, and 11, 71 points. The Vancouver Canucks, 30, 24, and 11, 71 points. The Anaheim Ducks, 29, 30, and 7, 65 points. Seattle Kraken, 29, 34, and 4, 62 points. And the bottom feeders are bottom feeders. The San Jose Sharks, 18, 41, and 9 with 45 points.
You mean 18, 40, and 9? At least that's what it says on my standings.
Unless they haven't updated, because we just beat the Sharks like 3 hours ago.
Okay, that's what you were doing. That's what you're doing. Okay, yeah, my standing didn't have it up. Sorry about that.
No,
all right. And currently the top team in the NHL, the Winnipeg Jets. Not the New York Jets. 46, 17, and 4, 96 points. The Dallas Stars, 42, 21, and 2, 86 points. The Colorado Avalanche, 40, 24, and 3, 83 points. The Minnesota Wild, 37, 24, and 5, 79 points. They need Kirill Kaprizov, not gonna lie. The St. Louis Blues, 31, 28, and 7, 69, nice points.
The Utah Stormin' Mormons!
Whoa, what? Where'd that come from? Utah Hockey Club, 29, 26, and 11, 69 points.
Nice.
The Nashville Predators, 25-33-7, 57 points. No offense to Nashville. And the Chicago Blackhawks, 20-37-9, 49 points. And it turns out they're probably the biggest winners of the trade deadline because they have Shea Weber's contract. Bad joke. Anywho. Let's wrap this up, man. We got the games of the weekend and Monday. So Sunday and Monday. So here we go. So Alex knows the rules. He'll pick two games for Sunday and one for Monday. So on Sunday, we have the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Detroit Red Wings, the Dallas Stars versus the Colorado Avalanche in a Western Conference matchup preview. The Ducks face off against the Blues. The Oilers face off against all my Rangers. And by the way, that's a soap opera joke. I am not a Rangers fan. The Florida Panthers face the New York Islanders. Utah faces off against Vancouver. And the Jets face off the Kraken to end Sunday. And on Monday, the Flyers face the Lightning. The Devils face the Blue Jackets. The Sabres face the Bruins. The Flames face off against the Maple Leafs. And the Kings face off against the Wild. Sorry, the Capitals are not playing this on Sunday and Monday because they are playing Tuesday against the Red Wings. So, Alex, you know the rules. What games you watching? Alex.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're on mute. So what two games you're picking for Sunday? What game for Monday?
I have a wild card game for Sunday. Even though the Islanders are looking bad, they have been looking good at home. And with the Panthers, coming off of Bobrovsky getting, in the win column, breaking the record, I think the Panthers are going to be playing with passion and power in this game. The Islanders are in big trouble at home. I see the Islanders putting up a fight. Unfortunately, I think the Islanders are just going to be selling the season away and just tanking because it seems like they have nothing to play for anymore. This team is not as good as they were a year or two ago.
Right. Game 2.
We'll go with a West Coast matchup with the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Kraken. The Kraken have looked iffy recently, but they have been playing dominantly at home. And with Colin Hollerbuck pushing the Jets to making the playoffs, winning the Vezina, this is going to be a good matchup. The Kraken have a good shooting team and a good defense. I'm curious to see how Hollerbuck can match up against this Kraken team. We're definitely looking at the score tomorrow night at 9 p.m. It's going to be a later game, so it'll be any late East Coast time, but definitely be looking out for the Jets and the Kraken game tomorrow night.
Right. And your Monday night matchup.
Ooh, I'm going to go with the Kings and the Wild. The Wild have been looking pretty decent without Kaprizov. Obviously, they just added a good piece in the trade deadline that we talked about last week. And the Kings are looking dominant. They are leading the wild card race with, I believe, the third spot, sitting in that sweet spot of they can get in and they can just miss the playoffs. But the Wild are also pushing for that wild card spot. They're trying to get in. They were just struggling without Kaprizov. And I'm really curious how Foley's going to do because the Kings have a very powerful and fast-paced shooting offense. Now, I'm not sure if Foley can keep up with, but I hope he does. Give the Wild a big push to try to make the playoffs this year.
Right. And as for me, I am definitely focused on a game that I teased that I would be focused on. That would be the Stars versus Avalanche. That is a potential Western Conference final in that matchup alone. I'm definitely excited to see that matchup, especially the goaltending. Dallas definitely has a great goalie. Forget his name. He was just very good. And I am going with the Oilers and the Rangers. I'm looking at that with heavy scrutiny. Because again, it's the Oilers. They got Connor McDavid, aka Connor McJesus. So we'll see what happens with him. And then this one's going to be interesting, to me at least, because the Blue Jackets are. I want the Blue Jackets to make the playoffs for Johnny Gaudreau. So to face off against a struggling Devils team, this is going to be very interesting for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's go. That's good. And of course, if you want to check out all the games that we're excited to look for, I will remind everyone that we have an affiliate link with Fubo TV. If you haven't heard about Fubo TV, it is a streaming service that allows you to watch live sports and TV without cable. By the way, you can, and if you don't have a trial with them, they do have a free trial with no commitment. You cancel any time. But if you do want to give them a chance, why don't you use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcasts? Show the channel some love. Fubo TV. All right, and that is it for our podcast. We do want to give a special shout out to our other podcasts. The Lap Down will still be going on. We had a bit of an issue, but we'll reveal that in due time. As well as we have the Social Slam podcast tomorrow. We had the Dirt and Turf baseball podcast yesterday. Kat made her hosting debut on that one, so that was very exciting to listen to. We also have obviously the Hard Count, our football podcast. We will be coming back to football before draft time happens. So we will have 2 more podcasts before this season is over. For the Hard Count before we get into season 4. And then of course, we are on TikTok. We're on YouTube. Obviously, I just said Spotify and other podcasting networks, so check us out. But also, speaking of YouTube, at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will be joining collaborator of the channel, Billy, from Newt City. He has a YouTube channel, Volbill99, VOLBILL 99. And we are going to join him and his fellow streamers live at 6 o'clock to discuss a March Madness bracket. Please, if you are listening to us, please be excited about that. Once again, it's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited. I was part of it last year. Obviously, I couldn't really do much. Now I can. I could do a lot more. And I'm excited, and I'm glad to bring Alex along. So, yeah, Alex, are you excited to be a part of a fellow friend of ours to do March Madness?
I'm excited. March is my favorite time of year for basketball because you get these crazy no-name schools putting up the biggest upsets, and I can't wait to see what the tournament brings us this much.
Let's hope someone upsets Gonzaga. Let's hope someone does that.
Oh, Duke, because I hate
that's
Duke.
always exciting. Gonzaga always gets hyped, and then it gets knocked down to earth. I love it. But anywho, guys, that is it for Biscuits and Penalties. I'm Cobra, and Alex was here with me. And well, we got to step off the ice. We'll see y'all later. Anything you want to say before we go, Alex?
Go Caps and watch Ovechkin break the record this year.
All right. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.